Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Looking back at the Pharisees in the Bible, we see them as bad guys. They were always going against everything Jesus said and did. But back then, the Pharisees were considered the good guys, the ones everyone looked up to because they were so good, educated, and holy. They were like the deacons, Sunday school teachers, committee chairs, Bible study leaders of our day. Not that people in our churches in those positions are all hypocrites. I mean, some might be. But the Pharisees were considered the spiritual cream of the crop. Yet Jesus saw their hearts and knew that they were only doing it for show, for position and authority and power. And as He revealed their hypocrisy, they became increasingly hostile until they were literally ready to kill Him. Their anger clouded their judgment, so that as Jesus fulfilled prophecy with His healing and preaching, they didn't recognize it. When He came riding in on a donkey in John 12, they didn't even see the fulfillment of Zechariah 9:9 and Psalm 118:25. They actually became the fulfillment of Isaiah 53, as they later crucified their own Messiah, because of their refusal to believe in the face of overwhelming evidence of Jesus' divinity and messiahship. Yet all they could do that day on the Triumphal Entry was helplessly sit on the sidelines, stewing in anger as the people praised Jesus, calling Him the King of Israel. They had tried to stone Him several times before, but He somehow escaped, because it was not His time. Now with the vast crowds praising Him, they couldn't arrest Him, and stoning was out of the question. If they tried to stir up the crowd to stone Him, the multitude might turn on them instead. John records that they said among themselves, "You see that you are accomplishing nothing. Look, the whole world has gone after Him." Saying the whole world has gone after Him was a bit of a hyperbole, but for their little world, they were definitely losing power. They probably didn't realize how true their prophecy was, as in the next couple of verses, Gentiles sought after Jesus. Yet this crowd's faith proved to be quite superficial, as the Pharisees incited them just a few days later to scream for His blood. But that was fine with the Pharisees. All they required of their followers was superficiality. Their religion only had to be skin deep, on the surface, just to look good. And that's not all that Jesus wants from His followers. If asked that day, Jesus probably would have said that He knew from the beginning of His ministry. When many believed, in John 2, it says, "But Jesus did not commit Himself to them because He knew all men, and had no need that anyone should testify of man, for He knew what was in man." In fact, as He drew near Jerusalem that day, He wept over it, knowing that within 40 years it would be destroyed and the people scattered. That's what their superficiality got them. And it's so easy to be superficial. I mean, it's still hard work to do all the right things and look good to people, but it's easy to slip into wanting to look good instead of actually being good on the inside, doing things for God's glory instead of our own. And it's easy to have a backup plan, A, B, and C, instead of fully trusting in the Lord and being obedient to Him, no matter what it looks like to others. How have you been what we now call Pharisaical in the past? And how has God changed you to be His child?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.